Hello, Hana the Suburban Witch here, and welcome to my mini-series, Troubleshooting for Witches. In today's episode, which is episode 2 in this mini-series, it is Why Do My Cards Not Make Sense?
They're my tarot cards. They're linked between the future and the past. They never lie. Sometimes I wish they would.
Definitely go and check out episode 1, which is all about why did my spell not work? Now, if you're new to me and my channel, I'm Hana. I'm a professional tarot reader and astrologer and witch, host of the Witch Talks podcast. Definitely check it out. You will learn something new in every single episode. So today, why do my cards not make sense? Now, first thing with this, we're talking about cartomancy, which is divination through cards. So I'm not specifically referring to tarot or oracle cards. Hell, this could be playing cards if you're using those for fortune telling, which is totally a valid thing to do as well. Whatever method of cartomancy you're doing, obviously something's not going right because you're here. Now, the first thing I usually say with your cards, if they're not making sense, and this will depend on where you are on your journey as well. For me, I can pick up most decks and do a very, very good reading with them, but I've been working with cartomancy for many years now. You might not be there yet. One of the first things I like to do is if I'm really struggling, like if I can read one deck really well and I switch to another and they're just not making sense. I'm like, I know technically what it should be, but it's just not, it doesn't work with this question, or I can't figure it out. Then I know, A, ground myself, might give the deck a little cleansing, and I'll definitely pop it under my pillow for at least one night. Best results would be 3 nights.
I keep them under my pillow. At night, I mean.
Why put it under your pillow, Hannah? That's weird. It's not weird. Might be weird. I don't know. It's what I do. Sleeping with it, something magical happens, right? It's like our energies just melt together. Now, I have done this with many, many decks, and then suddenly I can read with them perfectly fine. And then sometimes you still come to it and it's still not making sense. And sometimes this is actually just the deck itself just doesn't work with you. It's not for you, and that's okay. You can re-gift it, you can sell it on, that's okay as well. But the first things first, ground yourself, cleanse your deck, connect with your deck, so put it under your pillow. The other thing is you can do a little deck interview. So you can pull out some cards and be like, hey, what do you want to read on? Maybe you're asking like love-based questions and this deck is like, go away, I want to talk about career. It's a thing. I have decks that I only use for like love, relationship, really spiritual or healing messages, and it doesn't want to be read for other things. It doesn't work for other types of questions. So interview your deck or try different types of questions. Now, if you're in the other group of people who just no cards make sense, well, then I'd just say simplify it. Go back to just pulling one card at a time. Go back to reading and learning about it. I have a tarot class. It's in my shop if you want to get into the tarot specifically. My divination course as well is going to teach you the art of divination to use literally anything around you. It can be any card. It can be shapes in the carpet. It can be movement of the trees. Like whatever it is, you'll be able to find meaning in it if you understand the principles of divination. That could be a really good resource for you. Otherwise, I mean, my YouTube has a ton of free stuff as well. But if you're brand new, it might just be, you got to learn with them. Doing a daily tarot draw or daily card draw is really good. Taking a moment as well. So some people find it really hard to read for themselves, but not for other people. So try reading for somebody else. Try reading for a stranger on the internet, right? Because that feedback is going to be critical for you. And a lot of people find it easier to connect with someone they don't know rather than someone they do know or for themselves, because our biases get in the way. They really do. Simplify your readings, go back down to one card, read for somebody different. And lastly, the other thing you can do when your cards aren't making sense, if your deck normally makes sense, you normally have a really good grasp of the cards and just suddenly you're like, I don't know what this one means. Every now and then, either it's on a topic we're not supposed to know about, if it's a reading for ourselves, although usually I'll get the Wheel of Fortune in that regard. But other times it can be like a topic we're really close to and we just can't see past ourselves on it. And lastly, you can literally just put the card aside and come back, like write it down, put it aside, come back to it another day, like leave it for a full day, come back and look at it and be like, oh, now I get it. right? Sometimes we just need a bit of time in between it as well. That can be really helpful. So I hope these tips have helped you in making sense of the cards in front of you. Reach out if it hasn't. If this troubleshooting did not get you to where you want to be, let me know. I have other resources I can suggest to you. Make sure you are subscribed and like the video, share it with someone who needs it, share it in your witchy tarot Facebook groups or whatever if you think it's going to help somebody. I make these to help you guys. That's literally my whole purpose. Like, if I could distill my name down to one thing, like me to one word, it would be helpful. I love being helpful. So help me be helpful by helping other people by sharing it. That would be wonderful. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world today, and I'll chat with you next time.